Hey everybody, let's talk about push-ups. These are a great upper body movement that can be done by almost everyone, almost anywhere, with no equipment. It can be difficult to progress push-ups if you can't perform at least a handful of them at body weight to start with, similar to the accessibility of chin-ups and pull-ups. But there are easier variations that can help in this situation to still make push-ups a useful part of your routine. Let's look at some technique considerations first. Make sure you have solid traction on whatever surface these are performed on. For example, wearing socks on hardwood floors isn't a recipe for success. We'll start with the standard movement. First, we have foot and hand placement. Feet placement can range from close together, ankles touching, to about shoulder width apart. Farther apart will probably feel more stable, but this choice isn't critical and can be chosen for comfort. Hand placement can range from palms about 2 inches outside of the shoulders to palms placed right at shoulder width. I prefer the closer option, so most of these example reps will be at shoulder width. Either way, hands should always be placed with palms at shoulder level as viewed from the side. If you're in the correct position, this will probably feel like your head is way out over your hands. When you take a big breath and brace your body, or establish your plank position, contract your abs into a crunch and squeeze your butt tight. We don't want our hips and belly sagging down at all. This ensures our body is locked into one rigid unit from shoulders to feet. As you descend, make sure your elbows don't flare out to the sides. This is very important. They should point backwards at all times. This means your head will go even further out over your hands as you descend. That's okay. At the bottom, your lower chest will touch the ground, right between your hands. Touch lightly. We don't want any of our weight resting on the ground here. This position should ensure you have vertical forearms when you touch the ground. Also, don't reach your chin down to the ground. Just like all the barbell lifts, the neck and head aren't involved in the movement, so keep it in line with the body in a normal anatomical position. One last note on technique. The shoulder blades aren't passive in this movement. They should be pinched together and depressed the entire movement. Put them in your back pockets. Sound familiar? This is the same position you put your upper back in for the deadlift, squat, and the bench press. Now, what if you can't perform, say, 5 of these in a row? The first modification we can make is going from the feet to the knees. I like to cross my feet and hold them up so the knees retain the pivot feeling of the standard movement. Also, I feel like relaxing the lower legs and laying them down encourages relaxation in the rest of the plank. It's important to be vigilant that nothing else changes with your technique. Anyway, this modification should allow many of you to perform many more push-ups. What if that's still not enough? The next modification we can make is elevating the hands for an incline push-up. I want to reiterate here, make sure whatever you use won't shift or collapse during the set. Hospitals aren't a great place to be, especially right now. You have 2 options here. Either remain on the knees and find a low bench, the first couple of steps of a staircase, a fireplace mantle, 2 chairs braced against a wall, or you can stand up and use a stable kitchen table, again, possibly braced against a wall, a bay window, the back of a sofa, etc. The idea is the same with all of these setups. Incline the angle of your plank to make the movement a little easier. This takes some creativity and experimentation with different setups. Remember, a slight change in elevation can make a big difference in how many reps you can complete. Find one that you can perform at least 5 reps in a row on for 3 sets. Next time, complete 1 more total rep than last time, in as many sets as it takes. Once you can complete 10 reps for 3 sets, find a setup that decreases the incline slightly, and work back up to 10 reps across. Continue this process until you can complete 3 sets of 10 on the knees from the height of a step, then from the ground, and then finally a standard push-up. That's about it for programming. Doing push-ups from your knees might hurt a bit, so feel free to use a towel, pillow, kneeling board to give you a little extra cushion. If performing push-ups with flat palms hurts your wrists, you could try using some dumbbells in a neutral grip, if you have them. I can't think of a safe way to implement dumbbells with incline push-ups, but since your hands will be on the ledge of a surface, your wrists won't be bent back as much anyway. If your shoulders are creaky like mine, a wider hand placement might irritate them a little. If you find this is the case for you, you can always bring them in closer like I have. But make sure your elbows are pointing backwards the entire rep and not flaring outward. Flared elbows are a short path to shoulder impingement and pain. If you have any other issues or questions about push-up technique or how to progress them, don't hesitate to leave a comment and we'll discuss it. Thanks, everybody.